Okay. Go ahead.
So one of the main things that really impressed me about New Dorp was that they have one main administrator, which was the principal, and she had 8 or 10 different APs, assistant principals. I think it's essential to have one leader, one voice instead of 3 schools. At Weaver, we can have one administrator for the entire building, and then we have the different academies with different APs running them. But they can still have that cohesiveness as one school. I would love to see that.
So is that what you consider the ingredients of New Dorp that you would like, those are the ingredients that worked for them? Is the one principle, or were there other things?
There were other things, but I think that was essential to the vision. There was unity with just that one administrator. The writing program was essential, going back to basics, not only with writing, arithmetic, everything, going back to the core of the fundamentals just to get everything going. So it was across the students, faculty, and I'm sure the parents, again, we didn't get to see the parents, but I'm sure they all came together when you stick to the basics, what really works, go back to fundamentals. I think that's really important for what we're going to do.
Yes. So your initial reactions, did you see things that you liked, didn't like, any takeaways, major takeaways?
Okay, so my impression of New Dorp, it was kind of, I guess I'm very critiquing it because I've been to a lot of different high schools in my life. As well as having 4 kids, I've been to a lot of diverse schools. So what was okay with it was that they did have a plan, they did have a vision that was enacted and went with, and that they had long-term leadership, which makes a big difference. If you have somebody who has been through throughout the years, I feel like they had a vested reason to stay, rather than having those fly-by-night or gatekeeper principles, so on and so forth. I've been through that and everything. So having long-term leadership makes a difference. But the drawback to that is there's also dictatorship. So certain things was scripted. Certain things was like, okay, you were only allowed to say certain things. Because I didn't look at necessarily the questions or what was said, but what was seen, how they reacted, how when you threw certain questions at the kids that they weren't used to scripted or saying to, like when I had to ask them to take a place in the community or their parents, they kind of like, oh, okay, we don't know this answer. What do we say? What do we do? So on and so forth. All those different schools within that school, I had took part of that within a high school setting that had all those electives. And I think it's, that cross training, they definitely need to do that, because when you go off in the world, you might have set for one job, but you might be able to go to another. You got to be able to go diversity. And I think keeping them on that one lane path might be setting them up for failure, or if I don't succeed at that, I got to be retrained all over again. They have all those access to all those different classes. They should have the ability to be able to interact with now.
And what is the biggest challenge we have with the teachers?
Red and white.
They don't need to.